All right, yeah, everything's been going really good. Still fighting some little injuries and stuff, trying to get back going, but it's going good. I think our guard plays a little bit ahead of usual, and then losing Ty Doucette, trying to replace her with a couple of players. That's been kind of interesting and trying to kind of mix it in, but really like our effort and all the things that I'm seeing and the possibilities or the potential that's there. I know going into the WNIT preseason is going to be pretty tough as we go into the season. We start off with University of Houston, University of Texas, then we play Colorado, Jackson State in the WNIT, then bring Texas Tech back over here. So I think we got Auburn also coming in. So it's going to be a tough pre-conference schedule. But I like what we see. I think there's a lot of potential in our team this year, and got to stay healthy. I think that's the main thing of all sports, is trying to make sure that we're healthy.
Who are some of the girls who may not be ready for the opener or might miss a lot of practice that would get them off to a slow start injury-wise?
I think Alicia Blanton might. I think a lot of them maybe see some playing time, but it'll be limited playing. Destiny Rice is actually today's her first day of full court contact. And so we're kind of, really going slow with her and stuff like that. She's looking better and stuff. But I think at the beginning of the season, because of the importance of conference, we're going to hold some of those kids and maybe limit some of their playing time. So it gives opportunity. I would say Alicia Blanton, Destiny Rice, just right now, I think Jalen James is going to be all right. I think she'll be able to play a little bit more. But, she's coming off of a ACL too. So, yeah, I think that's kind of where we're at right now. Ashley Jones has been out with a foot injury, and I think she's going to get assessed tomorrow on it. So, hopefully she'll be back sooner. I think it's a stress fracture in her foot. So that might be they might limit her for a little bit.
How excited are you to get back Brandy this year?
Yeah, when you get a player like her, it's very seldom that University of Louisiana had a three-point shooter over 40%. And I know when she went out last year, she was shooting 64% from the three, which I know been tough to last because it was only a few games, but she can shoot it. She creates a lot of problems for a lot of defenses because she can actually penetrate. And I think the big thing about a shooter is most of the time they don't defend as well, and she can defend. She's strong and athletic. So I think she brings what our basketball team's all about is, hard-nosed kid that plays hard. And when she can score it like she does, I think that's going to be big.
How important, we talked about Jalen a bit last year, how having her to play enough to be able to figure out how to integrate her into the offense.
Yeah, I think we didn't expect her to be what she is right now. She's shooting the three better than, she's shooting it as good as Brandy, and that's not what when we recruited her, that wasn't where she was at. So last year, her working on her game and improving her shooting has created a whole different type of player. She still can get to the rim. She's very athletic. On the defensive side, it's going to take some work, but she can shoot it now. I see it every day. It's like at first I thought maybe it was just one of those days where she was hitting shots, but it's every day that she's really, really good from the three right now. And she doesn't never see a shot she doesn't like. So she's going to put it up.
So is she like the instant offense that you could get in a different body shape than what you had in Navy?
Yeah, yeah, I think so. And then a lot bigger kid too. She's 5'11", and she's very athletic. But yeah, I think she's going to be instant offense. And what my whole thing is, can she be consistent offense instead of instant offense? And that's going to take some time, I think, for her to be consistent at what we're trying to do. But I think she's got so much potential. It's kind of scary.
Obviously, it's not a full look of what your team is right now, but do you feel like, especially with Ty graduating, do you feel like this team is more going to be outside in versus inside out?
I think we're going to still, yeah, that's a great question. And I think we're still going to try to go inside out because we do have, Mariah Stewart's she's going to surprise a lot of people of her agility and just her, the way she moves on the inside and the moves that she has, My thing is how many minutes can we get out of her? And then, with Kyra Wren and WNIT Joseph, how are we going to utilize those kids too? But yeah, I think losing Ty has kind of given us a different dimension. But at the same time, man, we got some scoring from outside too. So you're right. I mean, I don't think we want to come down and just play from the outside. I think we got to get some touches inside. Coach Jones is in charge of our offense now. Man, I think he's doing a great job. He's putting in offense that kind of really matches our defense too. So I think you're going to see some good things from it. It might take a little while for us to get used to it, especially with the newcomers coming in. But I'm excited about that.
So what about like the coaching responsibilities? It's obviously very different in the West.
It's very different, yeah. I mean, man, we're excited, and I think the kids have really bought into it. The fact that Coach Jones, Coach Deacon is in charge of our offense, and he's bringing some different looks and stuff. And then Coach Sanders is working with me on the defensive side. And I'll tell you what, I've never really coached with somebody from the get-go that really our defenses were the same, and it is. I mean, she's really hard-nosed. Actually, she's probably better at getting these kids to talk than I have. That's always been my weakness, I think, is I can teach the game real good on the defensive side, but it's to get them to communicate. Man, she's no nonsense when it comes to that. So that brings us a different level. Can we get more consistent at it? And she's not giving up. She's continued. So, yeah, she's bringing something different to the table, I think.
So is the sub pattern going to be different this year?
Man, I don't know. I mean, we're trying to worry. We worry, it's like, how many people are we going to be able to play? It's always been an issue for us. I don't do very good at playing 10, but I mean, I think it's going to be different. I think we're going to be more like who can defend and who can score. I think we're going to, make sure that, hey, defense is going to be first. So we'll see how that goes. It depends who develops into that defensive side. Like Lene Wheaton was not in the lineup at the beginning of the season because she wasn't playing very good defense. And then at the end of the season, she got better at it. Well, this year, she's a completely different player. She understands the defense, and she's doing better, and she can score.
Now that you mentioned Lene, I guess what are your kind of expectations for her coming to the year?
Well, I think consistency is going to be a big thing for everybody. I mean, it's just like, can she be consistent every game and scores 18, 20 a game? I see it in her. She's very, very, she's matured, and I think she feels more comfortable than last year, I mean, we had a new point guard. There was a lot of new when Brandy went out and a lot of questions, and I think she stepped it up. And this summer was big for her. I thought she kind of matured and working harder and understanding what we want, and responding to what we want.
So if Destiny is going to be brought along slowly, that's going to allow you to play more girls at point guard that could take some pressure off Destiny down the road. Talk about those girls and how that and their skill set.
Well, Sherry Porter is a transfer from Western Kentucky out of Baton Rouge. She was at Madison Prep. We recruited her really hard out of high school, and at the last minute, she decided to go to Western Kentucky. So she's coming in with, a world of experience. She's ready to play. She understands our system. Matter of fact, we recruited her because we knew she fit in our system. She can defend. She's going to be similar to Skylar Goodwin, where she's not a true point guard, but she can handle and manage the team. That's what excites me. You're going to have somebody like Destiny Rice that's going to be, she just really knows what we're trying to do, and then you got somebody that can really manage the team coming in, so that's going to be really good. And then we have a freshman in Ivory, Amani Ivory, that is going to be very good point guard, just not quite ready for it yet. And so she's learning. She's going to be able to sit behind him, maybe get a few minutes. Very, very good offense. She can score, pass the ball, and stuff like that. So, yeah, I think you'll see those three mainly at the point.
How excited are you about being a part of the WNIT and then also getting the chance to bring one of those games to the Cajun Dome this year?
I was told a long time ago, I guess exactly 10 years ago, that it was going to be hard for University of Louisiana to get into the WNIT, the preseason and stuff, and then much less host a game. And we've done it once already where we went in it and we got to host a game here. So I thought that was big. Now the format's a little different now. And for us to be able to have Texas Tech come back over here, I think is huge, So, it's I'm excited, but, more than that, the kids, you want to give a good experience for these student athletes and for them to be able to play in it against Colorado. And don't Jackson State's going to be that same Jackson State that almost beat LSU last year, or should have beat LSU. And so that's going to be a tough game. So, we get to travel, get to play at a great venue in Texas Tech, and then have them come back over here. So I think we're excited. It's just kind of nervous as a coach, though, is, are we going to have all our players ready to go?
I guess the last thing for me, I know the policy for home games I think the tickets, everything for the games are free now. Are you hoping that will help to bring more people into the home games at the Cajun Dome? I know you've been passionate about growing the sport of women's basketball. How do you think that will help it?
Yeah, I think, you're always looking to try to grow the sport. I've been doing this for 40 years. Kevin knows that, from doing biddy basketball and to high school and to AAU and all that. And you're always trying to find a way to draw in that crowd, I always love when we get big crowds at football, because a lot of those football fans are big Raging Cajun, not necessarily the sport fan, but the Raging Cajun fan. That's the ones I want is, hey, you love Raging Cajun, here we are, come check us out, see how we play, So this might open the door, but I think it also opens the door for our assist club. Our assist club is a fundraising club that we have for our basketball program. Now we can try to do premium seating. If you join the assist club, hey, we'll put you on a court. Court side seats in basketball is completely different than any other sport. So hopefully we can kind of draw that, and we start to draw people in. I think it's going to help. I think it's going to help try to promote. It's we've won. We won the conference a couple of years ago. Our COVID kind of hit, so it kind of hurt us. So right now I'm looking at every sport. Throughout the country, they kind of struggle a little bit to get people in the stadiums and in the arena. So this might be one way that we need to try to do it, and then we can also benefit from getting the support for our assist club.